Obsidian Empire. I am currently just waiting for some breakfast or lunch to cook. It can be considered both because I didn't have breakfast, and it's about 12:30. Anyway, this is a Star Wars theory on what the Chiss Skywalker. Sorry, not what they are, but why do they lose their what's it called? Their force sensitivity. And this is an interesting theory. I don't think anyone else has published it or had thoughts about it. If you have, or you know someone that has, I do not claim credit for it. But if not, then as of this recording and the subsequent upload, I claim credit for it. So, basically what they are force-sensitive children, right? That can help the Chiss navigate through hyperspace. But the reason they lose their force sensitivity is unknown. Well, but the Jedi don't. The Jedi are all force sensitive, but they don't lose their force sensitivity. Then again, so are the Night Sisters and other people in the galaxy, but that could just be that they're naturally strong with the Force. Chiss Skywalkers, they're not very strong in the Force, I'm betting. Not in combat, they just help with navigation through hyperspace. But here's where my theory comes in. What if the Jedi opening a child to the Force and then prohibiting them from being returned to their parents after this happens? Maybe it's all connected. As we've seen plenty of times in canon and legends, I can't pull any examples out of my ass, but many Jedi have been taken from their parents and indoctrinated into the Jedi Order. Now, the Jedi take their children at a young age, open them up to the Force, and indoctrinate them. But the opening up to the Force could be a key. If the Chiss were somehow able to contact the Jedi, or a Jedi, that could open one of their Chiss children to the Force. This could allow their powers to remain for longer. I am aware of a Chiss that is 22 years old in the Thrawn novels, and she is beginning to lose her little gift of skywalking. This is because she's just losing her force sensitivity. I saw a theory the other day from a YouTube channel. It's probably Star Wars Theory. I forget which one it is, but basically it said that it's a process of natural selection. I don't think so. I think it's just that the Chiss are unable to keep the connection open because they can't draw it out at a young age, make them much more than just simply force sensitive, make them more like a Jedi. This is just a personal theory, but it could be that if a child of force sensitivity is not opened up to the Force by a Jedi or Sith or whatever, species or whatever, really. No matter the species, if they are not opened up to it at a young age or at some point in their lives during the point where they have their force sensitivity, such as those kids during Rebels. Let's say Ahsoka, after obtaining these children that the Rebels got their hands on. Let's say she opened them up to the Force. This, in turn, made them Force sensitive. I think the Empire might have been doing the same thing with Project Harvester. Take these children, open them up to the Force, and indoctrinate them like the Jedi. The indoctrination doesn't really have to be a big thing, though. It's just opening them up to the Force. So the Chiss basically have no way to open their children up to the Force, or their female members that experience this, and in turn cannot keep the force sensitivity open forever in that one Chiss's life. Which is why the abilities eventually fade as they are exerted all that one person can do without being opened up to the Force. Now, if the Chiss could learn a way to do this, then they could indeed become Force users instead of just simple Skywalkers, which in my case, or in my opinion, is extremely simple. I think using them in combination with some technology to navigate through hyperspace, that's an extremely simple way to use Force beings. Or Force-sensitive beings, whatever you want to call them. Now, there are some interesting cases out there, like how to open them to the Force. So I have a few theories on how to do that. Like, maybe it's just they need to be... we don't exactly know how a Jedi does this, or at least I don't. If you do, feel free to point me in the right direction, or just flat out tell me how. But I think that but instead of just simply opening them up to the Force, it could be that a child needs to experience, like Ezra. He had experiences with the Force. He wasn't very young. He was about 14, turning 15. So he would have been a relatively old Skywalker, but maybe, I don't know, I don't know the age of Skywalker, so I can't really make an opinion on this, but he was exposed to the Force by Kanan, who in turn trained his Force abilities and trained his connection to the Force. Without being opened up to the Force, these Chiss Skywalkers basically aren't able to hold their connection, and eventually, over time, lose it. That's basically what this theory boils down to. They don't have the strong enough connection to the Force, because they don't know how to get a strong connection. Anyway, I want to hear your thoughts on this. It's definitely a plausible theory. We just don't know what the heck is going on or why they lose it. If there's an explanation aside from this that you have, I'd love to know it. But aside from this, natural selection is the only one that makes sense, and it doesn't really make sense. Like, why would the Force naturally select who can have their Force connection for a long time and who can't? That's just ridiculous. It really is. I wish I was recording this in front of a desk. I'll probably transfer it into audio or something and just put a whole ton of images, which I have. But anyway, that's just me thinking about the future. I'll probably just not even edit. I'll probably just upload this right now, which I'm going to do because I want it already. I'm making a little fish stick sandwich with bread, and then I'm going to put some ketchup on it because I think it dulls the complete warmth of the fish sticks and does make them taste better, in my opinion. Anyway, Obsidian out. Peace to all, and have a great weekend. Bye.